Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the show where we translate all the corporate jargon into plain English so you don't have to. Today we are diving into a massive document from the United States life insurance company in the city of New York, and let me tell you, this one is packed with details about their variable annuity contracts. Get ready because we're about to uncover what's really going on behind those annuity products. And hey, if you love getting straight insights from these dense SEC filings, make sure to hit that subscribe button now. We also have a fantastic community Discord server linked in the description below where we break down these reports even from the United States life insurance company in the city of New York. And let me tell you, this one is packed with details about their variable annuity contracts. Get ready because we're about to uncover what's really going on behind those annuity products. And hey, if you love getting straight insights from these dense SEC filings, make sure to hit that subscribe button now. We also have a fantastic community Discord server linked in the description below where we break down these reports even further. Alright, so what we have here is a registration statement for something called USL Separate Account RS, specifically for their Portfolio Director NY variable deferred annuity contracts. Think of it like a prospectus, but more formal, detailing all the ins and outs for investors and employers. It's all about variable annuities, which is a type of insurance and investment product. You put money in and it's invested in various market options, but it also comes with insurance features like a death benefit. It's like a retirement savings plan wrapped in an insurance policy. The core of this filing is really about the units of interest under group variable deferred annuity contracts. Essentially, it's explaining how people can invest in these contracts through their employer's retirement plans. One of the first things they highlight is that there are actually 4 different series of these contracts. Each series has its own unique set of fees, charges, and specific features. So it's not a one-size-fits-all deal. The series are named Series 1, 5, 7, and 11. Each series is offered to different types of group plans or markets. For example, Series 1 is aimed at K-12, healthcare, higher education, and governmental plans, while Series 11 is specifically for higher education plans. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, they're very upfront about the risks. And when I say upfront, they really go into detail about them. Under the principal risks of investing in the contract section, they repeatedly emphasize that you can indeed lose money, including your initial investment. That's a pretty big warning right there. They also highlight that this contract is definitely not for short-term investors. If you need quick access to your cash, this probably isn't the product for you. They mention that surrender charges could eat up a good chunk of your money if you withdraw early, and taxes and penalties could also apply. Speaking of surrender charges, let's look at those. For Series 1, 5, and 7 contracts, if you withdraw money within 5 years of making an investment, you could face a surrender charge of up to 5%. This could be a significant bite out of your returns. For instance, they give an example of a $5,000 charge on a $100,000 investment. Series 11 contracts, however, have no surrender charge. Then there are the ongoing fees. The document lays out what they call annual contract expenses and annual fund expenses. The annual contract expenses, which are like a base fee for managing the contract itself, range from 0.40% to 0.0. A base fee for managing the contract itself range from 0.40% to a whopping 1.29% in fees. If you do the math at the high end, you could be paying close to 1.70, and investment options, which are the mutual funds inside the contract. These can add anywhere from 0.2 again to advisory fees. Now let's talk about when you actually start getting money out, the payout period. The amount you receive depends on several factors, including what payout option you choose, your age, and importantly, the assumed investment rate. This is essentially a hypothetical rate of return they use to calculate your initial payments. Selecting a higher assumed investment rate means a bigger initial payout, but it also means your payments might not grow as much if the market does well, and they could shrink faster if it does poorly. They mention that if you don't pick an assumed investment rate, it defaults to 3.5%, but you can choose other rates like 3%, 4.5%, or 5%. They provide examples of how these payouts work. For instance, a 65-year-old getting a life annuity with 120 payments certain could receive an initial monthly payout of about $101 for every $18,000 invested. But then, depending on how the investments perform, that second payment could be around $103. And the third could dip to about $98. This really shows the variability of those investment-linked payouts. When it comes to death benefits during the accumulation phase, the standard benefit is the greater of your account value, or 100% of your total purchase payments minus any withdrawals and charges. This is a common feature designed to return at least what you put in, minus certain deductions. However, they are very clear that if you have an advisory program and the fees are taken from your contract, it can significantly reduce this death benefit. Speaking of advisory fees, this is a recurring theme. If you use their advisory program where an advisor helps manage your investments, those advisory fees are on top of the contract's fees. They can be deducted directly from your account value. And yes, this deduction can reduce tax if you're under 59 and a half. They even have a specific disclosure about the deduction of advisory program fee risk, making it clear this is something to watch out for. Now, how do these contracts get sold? Well, they are primarily sold through licensed insurance agents who are registered representatives of broker-dealers, most notably through their affiliate VALIC. They even mentioned that financial professionals can earn commissions, sometimes quite a bit, for selling these contracts. This is a classic conflict of interest disclosure, so be aware that your financial advisor might have an incentive to push these products. Let's look at a financial table example they provide, specifically on surrender charges. Imagine someone invested $10,000 in 2020 plus more amounts over the next few years, totaling $39,000 by the end of 2025. If they then decided to surrender the contract on December 31, 2025, if they then decided to surrender the contract on December 31, $150. Another way is $40,000, $41,5025, and the account value was $50,000. The surrender charge could be calculated in two ways. One way is based on 60 months of purchase payments, which comes out to $1,450. Another way is based on the amount withdrawn, that is $50. Annuity will charge the lesser of these two amounts, which in this case would be $1,450. Another way is based on the amount withdrawn that exceeds the 10% free withdrawal amount, equating to $2,000 capped at 5% of the withdrawn amount. Equating dollars of these two amounts, which in this case would be $1,050, $1,455 to eat into $204 complexity dollars. It's a good example. They also show how the purchase unit value is calculated. This is basically the price of a share in one of the investment options. It starts with the unit value from the previous day, then applies a factor based on the fund's performance that day, minus some daily fees. It ends up at 1.842404. This daily calculation is what determines how much your investment grows or shrinks. Looking at the actual performance data for the funds available, the returns vary quite a bit. The Nasdaq 100 index fund, for instance, shows an average annual return of 54.49% for the last year, 22% over 5 years, and 17.26% over 10 years. This really highlights the difference in risk and reward between different investment types within these contracts, and 3% over 10 years. This really highlights the difference in risk and reward between different investment types within these contracts. Finally, let's touch on state premium taxes. These are additional taxes that can be deducted from your account value when you start receiving annuity payments. The rates vary by state, and for non-qualified contracts, they can range from 0.50% in California to 3.5% in Nevada. So even the exit costs can differ significantly depending on where you live. So what's my take on all this? The United States Life Insurance Company and the City of New York, through their portfolio direct to NY contracts, offers a complex product designed for long-term retirement savings. They are very transparent about the risks, especially the potential for loss and the impact of various fees and charges. The tiered surrender charges for some series and the ongoing contract and fund expenses mean investors need to be very aware of the total cost of ownership. The availability of advisory services is a plus, but the document makes it clear that these fees can eat into your returns and benefits, so it's a complex product designed for long-term retirement savings. They are very transparent, are best suited for individuals with a long time horizon who are comfortable with market fluctuations and understand all the associated costs. It's a product that requires a good deal of research and understanding before committing your hard-earned money. Alright, that's our deep dive into this SEC filing. What are your thoughts on these variable annuity contracts and the fees involved? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown useful, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more corporate insights. And don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description, for more in-depth discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.